guys, and welcome to episode 2 of the Civilian Soldier YouTube series. Today, I'm going to be recapping my air assault experience with the Army.
Air assault! Air assault! Air assault! Air assault! Air assault! Air assault! Air assault!
If you watched episode 1 of this series, you know that I went to air assault school and I failed phase 2. Luckily, my unit gave me a second chance and sent me back down to reinsert to phase 2. So long story short, I flew down to Georgia and I took a bus over to Fort Moore, the home of the infantry and the home of the Army Rangers. Phase 2 has a couple physical events and a bunch of hands-on knowledge and testing. Phase 2 starts off with a 4-mile formation run. Basically, a formation run is a large group run where you sing Army songs the entire time to keep everyone in the same step. After that 4-mile run, there aren't many physical events up until the end of air assault school with the 12-mile ruck. The majority of phase 2 is spent on sling load operations, which I talked a little bit about in my last video.
So phase 2 is sling load operations. You'll learn to inspect sling loads, and therefore you can sign off certifying that they're good to be shipped from point A to point B.
I passed phase 2 this time and went on to phase 3, which is the rappelling phase. So the rappelling phase of air assault school is the phase where you get to do all of the cool things that you actually went to air assault school for.
Phase 3 of air assault, which is repelling operations. So you'll learn the basics of how to repel from a tower, and then once you've completed those tests, then we'll move up and we'll actually repel out of a helicopter.
That being said, it's definitely the scariest phase, and there's a variety of things that can get you sent home in phase 3, and a lot of them have to do with safety violations, like not locking your carabiner, clipping in the wrong way, things like that. These are all things that you have to remember to do while stepping out off the edge of a 65-foot wall and trusting that a rope that you've never used before is going to catch you. The first time I went up to rappel, I was scared and it doesn't help when the instructors are making fun of you, cracking jokes, and saying all these things to make the environment even more stressful. I'm not sure if that's part of the curriculum to put more pressure on students or if the instructors are just do this for fun, but it definitely adds to the intensity. After my first day of rappelling, I told myself I never wanted to do that again. But after day 2, I felt a lot more confident in myself. And going into day 3, I was actually excited to get into the helicopter and jump out of there. The only issue is we had around 165 students and only one helicopter, and only 4 students can jump at one time. So this made for a long day of standing out in the sun, and unfortunately I was one of the last groups to go. I had to wait out in the sun for around 6 hours before I even got to step into the chopper. And this whole time we're wearing our harness, which we tie ourselves. It's known as a hip rappel seat or a Swiss seat. So the combination of standing out in the sun and wearing this really tight rope around your waist and groin area just made for a pretty rough day. But that being said, I was lucky enough to get into the chopper and jump out without too many complications. So we finished up day 3 after a super long day out in the sun, and then we got briefed on our 12-mile ruck, which was supposed to happen the next morning and is the final event before graduation for air assault school. Go. Yeah! Our 12-mile ruck started at 3:30 a.m. and I finished around 5:45-ish. So it took me 2 hours and 16 minutes to complete it. I actually did pretty well. I came in 7th out of around 165 students, but I still got beat by almost 30 minutes by the guy who came in first, which was a super impressive time. He came in around an hour and 48 minutes. After the 12-mile, we were able to go back to our barracks room. Shower, have breakfast, and change into new uniforms for our graduation ceremony, which was supposed to take place around 10 a.m. that morning. From there, all I really had to do was stand in formation and get my air assault wings pinned. That was really it. That was my air assault school experience. I now have my wings, which is awesome to have. It's a badge, it's another skill set, and it's another experience that I had to test my perseverance, mental toughness, ability to work through tough challenges and face my fears, really. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video or maybe able to learn something from it. If you guys are interested in watching more, subscribe to my channel, turn on post notifications, like this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.